Good evening, Nation's Corner family, friends, and fans. John in South Jersey here. Welcome to another edition of hashtag Nation's Corner on location. And joining me, my usual partner in crime from all the way from Monrovia, by way of the Long Island Expressway, Mongrovian Mike. What's up, Elder?
What's up?
Another time we get to sit down with someone who is a very good friend of mine, very good friend of the nation and Nation's Corner. Of course, who am I talking about? Let me do this. Who am I talking about? This amazing person right here. You know her. She is part of the Righteous from Ring of Honor and has been an absolute fixture and stalwart and top performer on the indies for quite a while. And I'm so very glad that we are able to sit down with her again. She is the queen of chaos, you dig? And she is the one and the only Vita Von Starr. Hey, buddy.
What's up?
How are you?
I'd snap my snap, but my carpal tunneled fingers.
Yeah, carpal tunnel gets in the way of snapping.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me again.
No, you're always welcome here. You know that, dear. So, where do we start? Let's start with well, in the spirit of full disclosure, this was actually supposed to happen before all the craziness of Mania Week in Philly here, but it didn't. And let's talk about that real quick. How was your Mania Week? How was your overall for all these people coming into our area here and invading us for a week or so and all that? How was yours?
It was a very exhausting week, but a fun week. I got to do a show Wednesday to kick things off with Labor of Love at I was Attic Brewing in Philadelphia. It was an outdoor show, and unfortunately, it was very rainy that day.
It sure was.
We were not sure it was going to happen, but we made it happen.
Good.
And it was sold out. It was a great crowd, actually. Yeah. I'm glad that it happened. But it was very, very cold. We also did a show at the dojo, a bunch of seminars. I did the Joshi seminar at Worldwide Dojo. And we had a bunch of seminars going on at Catchpoint as well. Really good people. Athena, Paul London, Jake Shannon teaching a bunch of like shoot style kind of amateur stuff. And I also did hang out at the GCW Clusterfuck. I was not in the show. I did not join the Clusterfuck. But
wait a minute. Who the hell wants to wrestle at midnight?
There was that, yeah.
I mean, nothing. We're used to long days and long nights, but they had to go that. I know how they do it. It's how they've always set it up and everything. But I've always like, man, you're going around all day, especially like around Mania and stuff or anything, no matter where the collective is. That you're doing this, you're doing appearances, you're going here, you're going there, and all of a sudden, like now it's like midnight. I would like to go to bed sometime. But anyway,
I know I was hanging out with Cheeseburger because he wasn't in the Clusterfuck.
Yes,
and like everybody was there. Like there were like so many wrestlers there just hanging out. Like obviously there was like 90 people in the show.
Right.
There was a lot of people just hanging out too.
Yeah.
So it was like a good time. But then, I did get about 3 hours of sleep before I had to wake up for our show at the dojo. I barely made it. It was so exhausting. Yeah. But I subjected myself to that. Like I wasn't booked on the show and I went anyway, just,
Yeah. Right.
So I only had myself to blame,
what else would you get to do? You're not going to lay there and sleep because then you'll feel bad that you missed something.
Exactly.
And I'm going to get up. I'm going to.
Yeah.
We'll all get sleep when we're dead. We'll get enough. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And it's nice to hear that you had good experiences with Mania. Everybody I've talked to, performers, talent, promoters, that I've talked to post Mania said everybody was off the charts. Super good crowds. I mean, you cram that many people in for one big event, you're going to have things. And from what I've been told and what I heard, that everybody kind of showed up and showed out, performers and talent alike, the crowds, everybody seemed to really have just overall really good time.
Yeah, everything that I was at, everything I went to was definitely good vibes, high energy. So
yeah. Very cool. Well,
yeah.
now that we're out of the post euphoria of Mania and all that, I got to see you last month, I believe, at Wrestling Independent.
Yes.
Which I believe was your first time back in the ring in a while that I'm aware of.
I did take some time off because of some injuries, but that that wasn't my first match back. I think it was my second or third.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't. Yeah, it was a minute for sure.
Okay. Did it come right back to you? Now I know obviously you're always training and working with people and stuff like that. It's not much different, but has it been cool to get back out in front of crowds again?
Yeah, I had a great time at that show. I wrestled Ty Awesome for anyone who
and you beat the hell out of him, which I absolutely love. Shout out to Ty Hastings. He knows I do like him. But I do love to hate him. He is so hateable. He is so hateable. Yeah.
Totally hate. I hate him too. Yeah. Screw that guy.
Exactly.
But I do love doing intergender matches. I don't get booked for them too often, but I always enjoy them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt good in the ring. Actually, it was good. That was a good crowd too. It was a weird crowd, but it was a good crowd. There was a lot of people there, and I had a great time. I didn't feel rusty. I mean, I go to train, like, even when I'm injured, I'm still in training, and I just, kind of try and work around it. But yeah, I felt like it was pretty solid.
Yeah. You looked like you hadn't missed a step in a ring.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. Again, as much as I say I hate Ty, and I do, and I tell him that, he is a great dance partner. So
he was a good dance partner. I took some brutal moves from him, some knees to the face and such.
There's always next time. Hey, receipts could be coming, Ty. Just remember.
Oh yeah.
And it's not from you. I mean, I do have the ultimate weapon that is now stuck. There's always this.
I know. I'm all about the foreign objects. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. AK-9K.
I cannot wait for to throw this to you and have you bounce it off somebody's skull. I really cannot.
I can't wait to use it.
Yes, it is here. It is. If you see me, of course, obviously, if you see me, it's here with me because I can't go anywhere without it. But I can. It's just very awkward looking. But
I'd like to see somebody's bloody face imprint on our Nation's Corner sticker there.
Yes, that would be very cool.
That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of a better person to take it and crack it over someone else's skull than
exactly.
Who
else do we think of? It would be a toss-up between you and Lindsay Snow.
Well,
she's a badass.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, Mike, and all that, because now it's almost like I have to kind of like rank because so many. I mean, I literally have had so many people say I want to use that.
I just got hit with an idea, John. Listen, we all know I'm gonna get heat, but I'm a Vince Russo fan, so
oh god.
I say we have an AK-9K on a pole match.
Well,
book it.
Yeah, but seriously, everybody's like, that's the and Vita was no different. She saw that eyes just lit up, and I'm like, yes, you can use it. You can use it. In fact, we talked about it afterwards. We were trying to figure out a way at the Wrestling Independent show for me to get it over to her so she could crack tie with it. But we'll get it. We'll work it out.
Someone's gonna get a leg to the face.
Yes.
If I'm ever there, Vita, you got double.
Thank you.
If you're in a tag team match, say. You got two of them because your partner can grab.
I love it.
The Mongrovian oak.
Someone's got to book.
This is made out of the finest Mongrovian oak.
Yeah. someone book this. Fans bring weapons.
Yes, absolutely. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
And of course, it can't be any place else but where. BC Dub Arena.
Well,
the official name is 2300. But
no, it's BCW
we
Arena.
know what we call it.
I reject your reality and submit my own. It's
exactly. I mean, we all do.
Yes. Anyway, so I have been told by a little birdie that you are involved with a wrestling
Leo
school.
Sparrow?
No, not Leo Sparrow.
No, the little birdie was telling. Is that the little birdie?
No. But somebody told me that you were involved with a wrestling school now. If you care to expand upon that, if you would.
Yeah, I would love to. So I am one of the trainers at Catchpoint now. This is True Cool X School in Philadelphia. And we did our soft opening, I think, in July, and then started running like regular classes in the fall. We're actually starting a new fundamentals class, I believe this coming week, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we do, it's like 7-week sessions. It's pretty intensive, actually. So the new kids come 4 days a week for classes.
Okay. All right.
It's a lot. And they learn so much in that time, actually. I'll also put over some of our other trainers. So I'm there Monday nights with Wheeler Yuta. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams is also there. Drew himself comes up every other week for classes. And we have a solid roster of coaches there, like dudes that I've trained with Hot Sauce like since day one. Same with Drew. So it's like pretty crazy how much these kids learn in these fundamentals classes. They do a match like after like 7-8 weeks, like they have their first match in front of a crowd.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, it's a very comprehensive program. You get all the fundamentals in, make sure everybody is bumping good and all that. And then so normally pretty much we do classes Monday through Thursday. 6 to 8 is the fundamentals, and 8 to 10 is kind of like advanced, kind of open session.
Right.
And it's been awesome. We have a 20-foot ring, and the parking's not terrible. It's still Philly, but it's not terrible.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. I love our ring. We have tons of like free weights and like assault bike, pull-up bars, like different kinds of like equipment to work out with. So we usually do like a 5. Usually we open at 5 actually for people who want to come in and work out and like train a little bit before class or whatever. Okay. So it's awesome. I love it. And anyone who's training or starting to train, or you're already on your journey, we also do drop-ins. You can drop in anytime too. It's been an awesome school, and I'm really grateful.
Okay. And that's Catchpoint is
Catchpoint,
the school?
Yep.
Catchpoint. Okay. We'll make sure to put that in the socials in on that so people are aware after we do this interview. But how has that been? I mean, obviously you were still young. You were still a absolutely top performer. Now, is it strange? Is it something different or anything going from, obviously still performing where and when you are, but now that, you're bringing the new generation or the next generation along, is that kind of does it feel weird or does it feel natural or?
Both actually.
Okay.
It definitely does feel a little bit full circle, because I remember starting training too, and like how overwhelming it is, and like you're in the ring and you're thinking about a million different things, and like your mind is just like going crazy, you know, it feels like you're fucking everything up all the time, you know. It's like so much in the beginning. I mean, even like years in, it's still like a lot.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's interesting to be on the other side of that and helping people who are just starting and like teaching them. But I've always been a coach. Like I've been a coach for a very long time in my previous disciplines. So like even now, like I'm, you know, most people know that I have a circus background and, you know, I'm a coach in that as well. I'm also a certified personal trainer. So I don't do that as much as like coaching circus and wrestling, but I do have some clients that I do just, you know, conditioning, nutritional stuff with. So I've been coaching for a long time. I'm newer to wrestling coaching, obviously, but a lot of, you know, like you just know how to communicate. You understand like different people's different learning styles and stuff like that. And a lot of the conditioning is the same as the stuff I've always, you know, I do tons of conditioning with our classes and a lot of core work, a lot of body control drills. Like I like to do like weird rolls and stuff that you don't do necessarily on a regular basis in wrestling stuff. So I bridge a lot of my prior background into my coaching now, and like how does what I've done previously apply to wrestling?
Yeah.
So so I love it, and I do feel like it's kind of part of my what I'm supposed to do on this earth is to, you know, spread that around. So.
Well, yeah. Well,
now how do you incorporate like the circus part? It interests me because that's entertaining, and it's also you're entertaining a group of people, which is what wrestlers have to do. At the same time, doing very risky and dangerous stuff, and making it look like like you're coming within an inch of your life when you really are coming within an inch of your life in reality. Which is why I like to smack people, not my wife, for saying that it's fake.
Exactly.
Yes. So,
Elder, have you not seen this young lady work in the ring?
Oh yes. I've seen her work, but now what I'm saying, what I want to get to the second part of is being a coach, like being a trainer, like as a matter of fact, John, the other day on Busted Open, they were pointing out about that. What Bully was pointing that out, that you could be a great wrestler, but that might not make you a great coach.
True.
Yeah, that baseball player, and that doesn't mean you could be a great manager of a baseball team. You know what I mean? So there's that kind of aspect to it. So you obviously have that, and that's a great thing. And do you feel like you're really connecting with these younger wrestlers and showing them a safe, proper way to look sick and badass in that ring?
Yeah, no, that's extremely true. Performing and coaching are not the same thing, and you could be, you know, at the top of your game performing in any discipline and not be an effective coach or an effective communicator. So I've spent many years of my life training to be a coach. That's, you know, I'm constantly studying, constantly doing research, even to this day. Like I never stop learning myself. And part of being a coach is being a student all the time. Like it never ends. There's always something more to learn.
True.
So I put a lot of time and effort into that. And as far as safety goes, like, again, we do tons of dangerous shit. Safety is always the most important thing. And obviously shit happens, like you're going to get hurt. There's unfortunately, if you do this in the long term and you're serious about it, like you're eventually going to get broken. Like it's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not the best part, but it fucking happens.
It is.
Usually the craziest thing happens when you take that one step and you friggin' break your ankle. You know, like you cycle sit off of the first rope, or
exactly.
And then you're doing all this. Everybody else, you see Will Ospreay. You're like, how come he hasn't broken his neck yet? You know,
it is always the stupidest thing that you get hurt on, and like you're embarrassed to tell people what happened when they ask you.
Wait, what do you mean you blew out your would you RJ?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
It's the worst.
It's
actually
but it's
that is how accident like a lot of times it's because you're fatigued and like maybe you like I've gotten hurt because I should have stopped sooner than I did and I was like, no, I can one more round, whatever I was doing.
I'll power through.
Yeah. So that happens. And like a lot of times it happens on the stupid stuff because like you've just done it so many freaking times that it's like literally not like a thought in your mind, but then maybe like one little thing happened different that, threw it off. So accidents happen like that. But I always say like safety is definitely the most important thing. Safety, then fun, then learning, in that order is my coaching approach. And again, just because I've coached for so many years, I've put a lot of time into developing drills and progressions so that no matter what I'm teaching in class, maybe you're not going to do the full skill that day, but you can do a piece of it. And it can be like anything can be broken down into pieces and you work at the level that you're at. And I work with people at the level that they're at. And yeah, I definitely push people. You have to, if you're going to progress, you have to push your limit. And sometimes it's uncomfortable. And a lot of times it's scary and downright terrifying, like flipping backwards for the first time for most people is terrifying. But again, there's drills that you can do to build up to that, to make it a safe progression. And then, you do the same drill like so many times. You're like, okay, I'm ready for the next level. Like, what's the next thing? So there's always a way, if it's something that somebody really wants to learn, there's a way to break it down and make it safe and make it progressive.
And just as a side note, knowing you as long as we have known each other and stuff, this is where I thought you should be, or where you should be now as a top performer and also a trainer. You just have that presence to you, that aura that, yes, when you are in the ring, you are absolutely lights out every single time. But you have had that, you have those, for lack of a better term, you have that look in your eye that, you have the ability to communicate and connect with people, to give them the knowledge you have, to pass it along to the next generation. So to say I'm not surprised that you're doing this now with Catchpoint is not an understatement. I am not surprised, because I ultimately always saw you that if somebody doesn't, or even you just doing it on your own, that you would be working with and training with new wrestlers.
And it's not a school owned by Joe Blow around the corner. It's Drew Gulak. You said? I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, to get hired,
generous as a coach also, and that's another thing that I want to mention about the school too, is that Drew is so generous with his time and his energy. And even like he got signed pretty early on when I started training, but he always, we always kept in touch. He would always check in with me. I would send him matches and promos all the time. And he very graciously will watch whatever I send him and then give me feedback. And he's like that with everybody. So if you get a chance to learn from somebody like that, like he wants to do it. He wants you to ask questions and he wants to give you feedback. He wants to help and make you the best you can be. So I was always grateful for that, from him, and, anybody who is willing to give me their time, somebody to take their time, he's a star, to take time out of their day to help out like that is, it's a real gift. So, just, for anyone who wants to come to the school, really take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I always find it funny now, or since I've become aware of the school, that it's art imitating life. Drew's gimmick on NXT right now, the no catch, the no catch guy. It's
exactly.
Just,
I know.
Oh, it's just like him with a couple of students. This makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, wow,
these heads, man.
It's funny, yeah. Art does imitate
life. To get hired, did you have to sit through a 650 point bulletin slide show with Drew? No.
That's only the gimmick.
I was
Oh,
already
that was-
doing.
Oh yeah, that was his annoying gimmick. No, now he gets to just. I listen. And how about my gimmick is I stretch and twist people.
Exactly.
There you go.
That sounds like
It's
a gimmick that
hilarious.
he can really sell.
Well, talk about playing to somebody's strengths, as Paul Heyman famously said.
Yeah. Oops,
Accentuate
I
the
broke your ankle.
positives.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Accentuate the positives, hide the negative. Yes. Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
you got
wait.
another ankle.
Oh. Well, you'll get tougher
Well, not
with
you.
that. Don't worry. Let me do it about a dozen more times to you, and you'll get used to it. But that kind of makes sense because talking about another school and organization you've been associated with, and that is Cheeseburger's Worldwide Dojo in Bristol. So it's not like you were like, oh, I'm just going to become a trainer, because you've been kind of doing that as well with your work at Worldwide as well, or had been before.
Yep.
So it makes perfect sense. And now basically Drew can go, Burger, she's all mine now. So
I know.
But, you mentioned that the students, after their training and everything, they do a match. Are you guys looking to do anything as far as putting a showcase show together or something in front of fans or something like that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we always have a graduation show at the end of the fundamentals class that I was talking about. So yeah, I don't remember if it's 7 or 8, it might be 8 weeks long, but then we always have a graduation show.
Okay.
And now we have, students that have gone through the program a couple of times now, so they're moving up, and then we can book them with some of the newer kids. So yeah, we usually do a showcase every 8 to 10 weeks or so.
Okay. Is that open to the public or?
Yeah, I believe it is. I mean, I think, it's definitely like low key kind of friends and family, but like, I mean.
Okay. Because I'd love to come see it. I love that.
The next one. Yeah,
okay. Please let me know. I would love to come see it. I'd love to come check out that school.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Cheeseburger? Did you ever see Cheeseburger kick the shit out of Leo Sparrow, the vegan? I mean, that to me is a perfect that could be like that could go like a 3-year feud, like the Bloodline to me, like the vegan against the Cheeseburger.
I think I was there for that show. I don't remember getting to see the match, but I feel like I was there for that. Yeah,
I have to show you my little Leo doll, and I have him. He's holding a Savage size Slim Jim in his hand. And he's also got a David LaGreca button over his.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen him bring out like bags of spinach to the
kale.
Kale.
We all got kale one night in the front row.
I've been hit in the face with that too. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about the kale. I mean, got to get your greens,
Yeah. No, he's actually a great dude, man. I'm such a fan of both. I'm a fan of both dudes, man. They really so entertaining.
Yeah, Burger's the best. Yeah, I love Worldwide Dojo. Even though I just want to put them over also, just because we've been talking about Catchpoint a lot, but Worldwide Dojo was the first school that I felt like it was my home. Like I trained for several years prior to going there. But once I got to Worldwide Dojo, it really felt like my place. And I love Cheeseburger to death. He really is like one of my favorite people in the world. And I'm still very involved with the dojo as well. So. Also great school.
Yeah. Did you feel yourself before you actually officially became a coach in wrestling? Did you feel yourself helping the younger talent anyway, and realized, and is that how they noticed it and said, "Hey, well, did they approach you to come coach, or were you seeking that?"
No, Drew definitely had me in mind. Partially because of my prior background and, because he knows that I train people anyway. And so he kind of brought me on as like, strength and conditioning. So we do work out pretty much every time I'm there. He told me he had me in mind for a while, but when he knew that he was going to open the school. So Yeah, that meant a lot to me.
Well, we talk about a lot, especially on Nation's Corner and here on Nation's Corner on Location, about how important having the right school and the right people in the school is. And because everybody has absolute horror stories. And just to hear you talk about Catchpoint now, that it's not just, it's not just a ring where, it used to be you gave somebody $1,000 and you basically wrestled in a backyard by where their pool used to be. And that was your ring and stuff. And basically people just getting money taken from them to become wrestlers. But again, has everything in wrestling has evolved and changed, and for the better for the most part. Schools, absolutely. People are absolutely paying attention now. Who's running schools, how. You have someone like in the case of Catchpoint, you have a Drew Gulak that is a national wrestling star with a major, if not number one company. This isn't a guy that did 2 dark matches on a Raw in 1988. And now he's a trainer. Exactly. And as you said, I just from my experience in my time watching and being around independents and stuff, it's great to see that the schools are stepping up. That it's not just we're going to get in the ring and I'll show you a couple moves and okay, you're good, go ahead. That you're bringing in, like you said, you have training and conditioning available as well. It's we joked about before we started doing this that the ring you guys have, that's not the kind of ring you're going to see at a lot of indie promotions, so don't get used to it. But still, that's shows level of commitment. And I think if you're a young man, young woman looking to get into this business and get into this and wanting to make this a career, and all that, and really the foundation is at the school. And to me, it's like I'm a union iron worker. 24 years ago, I went through my 2-year apprentice school. It was 2 years before I even got close to anything resembling the stuff I built in the city of Philadelphia. But and to me, it was I want to do this. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do with my life. Absolutely, I want to go to what is going to be the very best that I can have. And I for the life of me, when I hear people, I started off with this guy and he did this and that, and I'm like, this is and not even the financial part, because yes, you're not going to make any money your first day, and you're going to wind up spending a lot of money. But still, like you had said before, the safety standpoint, you're talking about you and another person that basically you are trusting each other with your lives. And by the way, you need to put on this spectacular performance that makes people jump up and cheer or jump up and boo and throw things at you. But meanwhile, your lives are in each other's hands. So absolutely, schools, I think, and I'm glad to see more of an emphasis being placed upon quality schools should be absolutely promoted and celebrated, because unfortunately there's still a lot of bad ones out there. But when you have a good one come along, and I feel lucky for the talent here in our area that they have now Catchpoint, they have Worldwide Dojo, they have Monster Factory here right in my backyard in Paulsboro, that there are fantastic places to go with quality people that when they tell you you're ready to go, that you're ready to go.
Yeah, we're very fortunate in the tri-state area to have so many schools, and that's not the case everywhere. Obviously, there are places in the country that you have one option, So we definitely have a choice around here, and that's a huge blessing. But unfortunately, you're right. There are still, it's like that old school mentality of training where it's like, are you tough enough? Like, let me just beat the shit out of you and wreck you till you puke.
Right.
And then are you tough enough to come back the next day? And it's I kind of trained myself that way, to be honest. I always kind of push myself too hard, and it's like, oh, if I'm still standing, then it's not time to go home. If I can still walk, then I can still train.
Well, I didn't work hard enough. I can get 2 more sets in. Yeah.
Let me get the reps in.
Yes.
But it's not healthy in the long run, and I don't believe that it's the right approach at all. Yeah, I mean, all like really common thing is like, oh, yeah, do 500 squats, and people are doing shitty squats. Like, you just like gave someone this task to, you know, something that they're not even doing well on like the first handful of reps. Now you just programmed 500 shitty reps into their muscle memory, you know. Like, that's not, like, I hate that, like, honestly. Like, for, you know, obviously when you're doing squat, like, you should be doing perfect form on like all that stuff, squats, burpees, like, I love that kind of conditioning, and I'm all about like pushing it and like pushing your level and like, you know, doing a ton of reps. But I mean, they gotta be good reps, and like, if you're gonna tell somebody to do that, like, make sure they're doing it well at least. Like, but like, in all honesty, like, most people like can't do that, like, they're not there yet. But so, you know, so there's also that, like, asking someone to do something that they're not ready for, and that's a common thing too. And I see that you know, all the time, where, you know, people are, and again, that's where it comes down to like progressions and drills, where it's like, yeah, you could get somebody there eventually. They're not ready right now. What are they ready for? Like, let's give them something that's like achievable and helpful, because like getting someone to do something that they're not ready and then they get hurt, like, you know, like, and I've seen lots of injuries happen that way too. So
it's
not worth it.
That's interesting. Keep your coach's hat on for a second. Now, of course, when people come to the school, they, you know, obviously are aware of who you are, and more than likely have seen your work in the ring. How hard is it to take some of these younger people and kind of rein them back? You are very, very athletic, very acrobatic, very hard hitting in your matches, and it's a culmination of your training and your work and everything else. But how hard is it sometimes when, you know, the kids will go, oh, I can do what you, no, you can't. Is it hard to, you know, keep them reined back, and so they don't go out and get themselves in trouble or something?
Yeah, that definitely happens sometimes, and especially, you know, young kids, they haven't had surgery yet. Like, oh yeah, I can just throw my body around and you know, take shitty face bumps, and like, dude, you're gonna wreck your knees. Like, maybe not now, maybe not but a few months from now, but eventually that shit will catch up to you. Trust me. So yeah, there are some people that are like that. But it goes the other way too. You know, people are often timid to try stuff. And like, it is scary and it's intimidating. So you kind of like, some people you do have to reel back, and some people you just have to kind of like
nudge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I because now I've never been in a ring. I've never taken a bump, so I never profess anything. But I would have to think that, you know, these are young people who are not only very impressionable, but finding out about themselves and their physical abilities or anything like that. But also, like all the rest of us, they grew up watching wrestling. So they're used to seeing WWE and now even AEW or Ring of Honor, TNA, and watching, oh, I can go out and do what Will Ospreay does. I can. No, you can't. That there, you know, I can go. Vita can do that. I can do a handstand. No. And I would have to think that could be kind of frustrating as a trainer and a coach, that, you know, like, you know, you want to treat them like a child. You should give them a smack on the ass and stop, go in the corner. Think about what you're trying to do. But I give you all the credit for that. Yeah,
for sure. There's a lot of people come in because they were like lifelong fans, and you know, that's like their childhood dream, which is awesome. You can totally do it. A lot of people don't always know how much really goes into it. Because not only should you be training in the beginning really as much as possible, like, you know, like long sessions, like 3 nights a week, you know, maybe even 4, but you also have to be going to the gym on your own. Like, we maybe work out in class, you know, you don't, like, usually you'll get like a decent workout most classes, but you also have to be training yourself. Like, it's a full-time thing. It's like not a joke. And like, not only that, you got to get your nutrition dialed in. like, because people come in and they have terrible diets and it affects their performance, and then you can't perform like the tasks at hand because like you ate a pizza right before you came in to training, you know.
Cannot work a bad diet.
It's a full-time thing. It really
well, that was something that I've noticed definitely, and we all fully recognize wrestling itself has never been hotter than it is right now, as far as interest, fan counts, attendance, all that stuff. But also, and I know there's a lot of people that have been and don't like the idea that, just for example, WWE with NXT and the next up are bringing these college athletes in and basically teaching them how to wrestle and then putting them on TV. But on the other hand, if you're just an average guy that you might have played some sports in high school or something like that, but these college athletes that they're bringing in from all, not just they're not just getting football players or all that. You're seeing people from all sports disciplines, but they have that athlete mentality, that idea of you have to work, you have to maintain certain things, you have to treat your body a certain way, you have to work your body a certain way, nutrition and all that stuff. And for most people, it's like, oh, I'm just going to get in the ring and be a wrestler. And obviously, as you're explaining to us in beautiful detail, no, you're not. There's more to it, and I'm glad to see that mentality. It's not a bunch of guys sitting in a locker room somewhere smoking cigarettes and drinking beers in between matches, and they're like,
if you wrestle down south, it's like that.
Well, so like we said, some habits die hard, but it seems to be that this younger generation coming in, and you could probably attach it to all sports and stuff. They have much better idea and a much better basic knowledge of things like that, like training and conditioning, nutrition, how important it is. Not saying that the 20-year grizzled vet is still going to sit in the corner with his 6-pack of beer and smoke a cigarette and like, all right, come on, kid, let's go do this match. We're still gonna we're still gonna probably have that, but it's nice to see that everything seems to be progressing, everything seems to be evolving in a good and positive direction for that, and you get to be a very integral part of it, even in a small way, in a small school in Philadelphia. But still, I always saw you doing it. I always knew you would be the one that would move into some sort of role like that, because even I see in your matches, and I probably more so than the average fan, I watch how you work and how you run your match in the ring, and you are a ring general. You absolutely are. You take that lead, and anybody that gets in the ring with you, they better be prepared physically and mentally, but also that's the whole thing. Hey, follow my lead, kid, and we'll get through this just fine. And every time I see that with you, I can absolutely see that you do that. So you doing this now is just, to me, seems the perfect natural progression.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm always happy to give back in that way. Like I said, I really do think it. I've coached for so long at this point that it's important to me. Like, it really is. Like, I want people to be safe, and I want people to enjoy what you're doing, and like actually want to go to the gym, want to go to training. Like, even if like you have a bad day, like you still like put in the work, and like just understanding how the flow of things. Like, everybody has bad days, everyone has injuries, that's what periodization is for, and there's you just kind of weather the storms when they happen. But like, if you want to do something, like, it is it's so much a mentality of like just getting in the right mindset. And there's gonna be so many times like so many times that I trained when I didn't want to, and I was tired, or like like had other stuff going on, weather's bad, whatever. There's a million excuses you can make, but and I mean, if you want to be more casual about it, like, that's some people do. It's hard to do that in wrestling, though, to be honest.
It seems really like it's all or nothing.
It in a way it is. Like, I people go in and out, but It is.
Well,
yeah,
it's it's like in music, it's like you either be dedicated to being in a band to make it, or you could be a weekend warrior. There's the weekend warriors. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's a point where you make a choice. Do you want to do that? And then that means to hell with that day job, and you go steady on and go right for that, and bringing up music, the metal. Okay, you got me with that. You got me with that band Castrate, so I had to click on their site and listen to some of their music, and I was like, okay, some good old death metal.
I love those chicks. I am all about the brutal female death metal. Yeah, one of my friends is in that band actually.
Cool.
But they're freaking badass. I adore them. Yeah. Castrator, putting them over. If you like extreme music, definitely check out Castrator.
Oh yeah. Well, we got a couple of people. There's definitely a few people in our group that will be checking them out.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
As I will. I didn't have time to go down a rabbit hole then. I was watching you. I was trying to learn how to do a moonsault on your on your page. I'd kill myself on the first part.
That's
just
okay. That's why you falling back up, with
he's freezing up. Give him a second, but yeah. Wait, is he? Yeah, we'll give him a second.
Onto the
just
match.
let him go. All right. Okay, he's back. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I'm back.
Since we're talking about fun stuff, we're talking about fun stuff. Let's talk about the fun stuff of beating people up, which you're doing very soon, from what I understand.
Yeah, I actually have a match with Delmy Expo.
Pay up that money.
It's our first time wrestling, actually. I've known Delmy for years, but we've never been in the ring together. Yeah.
Wow,
So,
that to me is very surprising because well, my very cursory scan of my memory, you're right. I've seen plenty of dozens of shows where you guys have been on the show but never in the ring ago. So okay, first time ever. That's very cool. But
yeah, we've been on many shows together. We've actually trained together many years ago at my first school. So I've known her a long time. I've come across her in seminars and stuff. But it's our first time match, and we're fighting. I am currently the Blood, Sweat, and Tears Monarch Champion. So I have the women's belt at BST. They're up in Connecticut, Hampton, Connecticut, and I love going there. I worked there for years now, but I think I won the belt. I think it was in the fall sometime. So yeah, I've been defending that. I think this might be my third or fourth title defense. So I'm looking forward to it. I always love getting to wrestle people for the first time.
Well, it's funny, we're recording this now. It's actually Delmy's birthday, and I can't think of a better birthday present you can give her than a kick in the face. So
exactly.
Oh yeah,
happy birthday, bitch.
Yeah. Here's your cake. Anyway,
enjoy.
But yeah, well, and again, of no surprise, they keep finding you these worthy and quality opponents to take your title, and they still have it. And all the thing.
John, it was also Leo's birthday the other day too.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, I don't know what a vegan birthday cake looks like or how to describe it. So.
They're variable.
As long as it's chocolate.
I would defer to you. You're my nutrition expert. So, but is it? Of course, the climb to the championship is always one thing, and then you get the championship. Is it? And everybody's like, oh well, now it's even harder because everybody's gunning for you. But you seem to welcome that. You don't want to just be. You are. The classic definition of a fighting champion.
Thank you.
And obviously in the quality of the opponents that they give you to try to take that belt from you. And I've seen you hold championships in other promotions and companies and stuff. And yeah, good luck, buddy. Usually,
I ain't
no.
holding back.
Yeah, no, this isn't going to be like, oh well, I'll just go. No. If the big word, if you beat Vita Von Starr for whatever championship she's holding right there, you better try. If you're still able to, if you're not too sore and beat up, you better pat yourself on the back because you've done some work to do it. Just because I know how tenacious you are, especially as a champion. Has there been one particular instance or match for a championship or a title that you look back that like, yeah, that's the one. This is the one I like the most, or this is the one that I don't want to say proud of because you should be proud of every match you have. But is there something that one particular one that you were like, yes, this sticks out in my mind?
I always have a hard time picking favorites of anything, but I would say I had 2 matches with Kyle and King. I think you were there for both of them.
Yes, I was.
And she's an opponent that I appreciate. She hits hard. She doesn't hold back. And I like that. Like I want to have a real fucking fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she actually, let me mention 2. This was not a championship match, but I felt the same way with Lufisto when I wrestled her. Okay. Because she's such a badass too. And like, I want to get in the ring with someone that's going to really fucking hit me. And like, we both can take it. Yeah. So I felt like both of them, I had to work very hard. And I knew that going in. And like, I want someone to take me to my limits. I enjoy that. I want that kind of challenge. So yeah, I would say those 2 stick out in my mind as like opponents that I really had to work
for. Yeah. Quick shout out to the motherfucking King, who is back in Ohio rehabbing her ACL injury. She is on the mend. Check out her socials. She's posting out updates all the time. She is making fantastic progress, and she will be back sooner than later. She is absolutely killing this rehab from the surgery. So best wishes to her and continued speedy recovery, because yes, I'm gonna, I'll say it right here, right now. Yes, I want to see Vita Von Starr and Kyle and King in the ring again. Yes, please, twice. If I have to pay twice, I will. But absolutely, I want to see that again because they were both just absolutely amazing banger matches, and that's the style. You and I have talked privately before that's the style we like. This ain't ballet. This ain't ballroom dancing. This is, you punch me in the face, I'm going to punch you in the face, and we're going to keep doing it till one of us drops. And exactly, that's exactly how we prefer it. And that's always, yes, the aerial moves, the all that stuff is yes.
I do like to be fancy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that anybody who's ever seen that match, you do have a flair for the dramatic, and bless you for it, because it is one of the thousands of reasons why I adore you for that. Just that dramatic flair and acrobatics, and again playing to your strengths. But after you beat up Delmi Exo for her birthday, what else do we have on the horizon?
I have to check my calendar because I can only think one step ahead at a time.
That's why we get along so well.
Yeah, I probably should have looked that up before. Check my social media. I'll keep you guys all updated.
Yes. And all right, and that's actually an excellent segue into that. How can folks get a hold of you, interact with you, keep up with your calendar?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Twitter. If you go to Instagram, it's Vita.
Oh, did we lose her? What did we lose here? There
she is.
Let me give you those handles. If you go to Instagram, it's Vita Von Starr, VitaVonStarr, and on Twitter, it's just Von Starr. Twitter X. I still freaking call it Twitter, but like,
we all do. I don't subscribe to that.
I know. Yeah, Von Starr on Twitter. Hit me up.
Do we still have the merch store?
That's a good question. I was on one of those lucha sites. I did have some gear on there.
Right.
Lucha Patron, I think it was.
Okay.
That's totally different stuff than what I normally sell at shows too.
Right.
So definitely check that out. I have some graphics done by Jack Purcell, who is this awesome graphic novel artist.
Mhm.
His work is great. He's done a bunch of stuff for me. And you can also DM me. I should have a better system for selling my merch, but you can DM me for merch, for sizes, t-shirts, and 8x10s.
You can't get this one anymore.
I think I might have one or two of those left in like.
Oh, you're not getting this one. Fuck you. It's mine.
Yeah. I think I might have like a small and an XL, but yeah, that's a limited edition. Yeah, that one's hard to come by.
Yes, they are. Vita, as always, it is an absolute delight to sit here and talk to you and spend time with you. And I'm so glad to see you back and that you're not only thriving, but expanding in everything you're doing, especially with the school. Can't thank you enough for the time to sit down with us, and wish you the best of luck beating up Del Exo. I'm sure you will have a wonderful smile on your face while you're doing it.
I'm looking forward to it.
You know that you are part of the Nation's Corner family. You are welcome here anytime. If you just want to sit and BS with us, or you have something you want to do, absolutely let us know. We will have you on anytime.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Always good to be here.
Yep. Well, take a little break, relax before you get back on the grind, and we will see you soon, dear. Thank you again.
Sounds good.
All right. Vita Von Starr, ladies and gentlemen. And wow. God, we could sit and talk to her forever. Yeah, that's really like I've always said that, especially her now with the school, with Catchpoint and everything. It's amazing. So
definitely,
I just wish her everything, all the best and everything. But we're running up against it, Mike. So we're gonna do this quick. At Twisted Metal Fab on the IG and the Twitter. That
at Mongrovian Mike.
It's Mongrovian Mike, folks, and we will see you all at the shows.
Support indie wrestling.